Hey, I'm John Greaves III. I'm the founder of Garage Gym Life Media, the only media brand that is focused on the sports and athletes that matter to the home gym community. Today, I'm going to give you a tour of my home gym. Alright, so my gym is here in my garage. We've taken what was originally a two-car garage and we converted it. That side over there is a playroom for my daughter, and then my wife's office is right there as well. But this is where my wife, my kids, and I train. Well, this is half of a wrestling mat that we got when my kids were competing in wrestling in middle school and high school. They no longer wrestle, but I do still train jiu-jitsu, and so I'm the one that uses it more than anybody else now. This is a treadmill. I got no idea where my wife got it from. I literally came downstairs this week and found a box, and my wife was like, oh yeah, that's my treadmill. So as you see, it folds up because space is a premium in a home gym, as you know. This is one of the tripods we used to use when we live stream powerlifting meets and strongman competitions and whatnot on our YouTube channel, and then it broke. So now we just use it here in the gym if I have to do promos or whatever. Over here, we've got an ab bench. I believe I got this from, the original ab bench was made by Home Gym Warehouse. Now, it wasn't designed by Steve Holman. I forgot the name of the guy who came up with the design. But this is honestly one of the best loadable abdominal exercises, because just like an ab mat, which they also developed and then they sold the ab mat concept to someone else. So just like the ab mats that you see people use, this has the curve to follow the curve of your spine so you get extra range of motion. But the difference is you can load it. You put the weights back here and you can load it up. It doesn't really take a lot of weight in order to make it effective. This tire I use with my heavy bag if I want to keep the bag from swinging. But a lot of times I don't even bother with the tire. I let the bag swing and then I just move around the bag as if it were an opponent. This is a sled that I was given, actually. It's a DIY sled. We've had this thing, well, since sleds first came out. So the best sled out there is the Prowler. It's made by William Strength, and Elite FTS also sells it. But when it came out, we couldn't get one, and so my brother had one just made for himself, and after he got done using it, I think he actually went out and bought one, and then he just sent me this one. At the time I was training middle school and high school athletes. I said, yeah, sure, that's fine. I actually haven't used it in a long time. This block right here is a bit of sidewalk, and I just saw it randomly somewhere, and I decided I wanted to be able to pinch grip it, and now I can. So now my goal is to be able to pick it up with one hand, pinch grip it with one hand. So that's the goal we're working on right now. Got a lot of goals. All right, this is a leg extension, leg curl. It's plate loaded. Most of this, all the stuff we have in here is plate loaded. This is made by Northern Lights, I believe. And, oh, ab bench, made by Body Solid. Yeah, I guess I could have just read the label. So Body Solid now sells these. Anyway, so Northern Lights, which is a pretty good brand. I got this used at Play It Against Sports. I go to Play It Against Sports for a lot of stuff. The Play It Against Sports near me, we actually have a video on my YouTube channel where I visit them and I show all the stuff that they have. They got tons of stuff. You go in there and it's like Christmas every day if you're into lifting weights. This is the original floor glute ham raise. I think they call it a compact glute ham raise now. And it is made by Orlando Barbell. Brian Schwab is a world champion lifter, power lifter, and he designed this, and this is one of the original ones. So you put weight plates on the back here, your feet go here, and you do glute ham raises, and it goes on the floor. This is a bag for practicing slipping when you attach it around a punching bag, and then you can slip with it. And I also use it for practicing like some stand-up grappling stuff. This is a sand dune stepper. Excellent for like if my knees aren't happy with the idea of me going out and running on the concrete or outside, I can just do some jogging in place on the sand dune stepper. I also, if I'm doing a long interview here in my home gym, which is where I do all my interviews, then I stand on the sand dune stepper. That right there is a battle rope that was made, sent to me by Profect Sports, and basically, you know what a battling rope is, and that's what I use it for. This is sandbag from the Sandbag Queen. Her brand is called Train Rugged, and I actually prefer training with sandbags like this, these keg style sandbags, but this is really good. This duffel style sandbag is really good if you're doing something like cleans or something like that, because then you're actually mimicking the clean motion. And if I want to do like a Zercher carry for the sandbag, then it's obviously easier to do it with this than with these. But with these sandbags, which I got from Home Gym Built, This is a 100-pound. This is a 150. It's actually harder and more awkward, which is why I like them, you know, because they're more awkward to use. The duffel style sandbag has little pouches in it, so it's easier to customize the weight. So you just gotta kind of figure out which one you want to go with. So we got little odds and ends in this rack here. I got this also from Play It Again Sports, and this is basically just where we put all the stuff that we're trying to keep off the floor. So you see I got a combination of spring collars, some screw down type collars back here. This is a hub from Iron Mind for doing hub lifting. It's to mimic the idea of taking a 45-pound plate, grabbing it by the center part and just picking it up. And so you can train up to that with the Iron Mind hub. And then this is a 5-inch bull ring made by Jed Johnson, and it does the same thing. But the reason why they're different shapes is because this Iron Mind hub is based off of the hubs that they had back in like the 40s and 50s that were deeper, and the hubs nowadays have a wider ring. And so that's why Jed made this 5-inch bull ring. I really like playing with both of them. I also like using the 5-inch bull ring because there's a lot of stuff for gripping. So like you do the Iron Mind hub like that, and you do the 5-inch bull ring like this. But then, you know, obviously you've got a loading. I've got a loading pin I use with these. But then you can work your extensors. There's not very many grip tools, grip specific tools that work your extensors. So I can put my hands in here, and the weight's still down here, and I can do like a farmer's carry or something like that with it. These are a set of fat grips. I've had those for a while. Then this is my wife's off-brand abdominal mat. She got it from Amazon, I think. These are her yoga blocks. I also do not use those. Not because I have a problem with stretching, I just don't use those. These are power hooks. These are dumbbell power hooks, and they are originally made by Country Power. I think Northern Lights might have them now. And what you do with these is, so let's say this is your barbell, right? You hang them on the bar, okay, and you set the dumbbell in here. And so now, if I'm doing dumbbell work, like if I'm going super heavy, then I don't have to worry about the whole maneuvering thing that most people do, where they have to like kick the dumbbell up into position and all that. I don't do all that. All right. Instead, I put the dumbbells into here, hang them up on the bar, just like over there in my power rack, and then I just come off and I bench or whatever I'm gonna do with them. I've had 90 some pounds on these, and they were just fine. I've had them probably since like 2010. They've held up just fine. You can kind of use them for carries as well, but it's a little bit awkward, as you can see. Okay, this is a grappling dummy. If you've never seen one before, the purpose of a grappling dummy like this one is to practice your submission holds and positioning. It's not for slamming, but it does function well if I want to have a sort of a different feel for doing like Zerchers or something like that, Zercher carries. Then I use this guy. I call him Crazy Dave. My daughter loves punching him. You actually fill these up with rags. So what I did is I took a bunch of my old t-shirts, cut them up and put them in there, and I didn't have the heart to cut this shirt up. It just looked too good, so I left it alone. This is a banana bag that I got from Combat Sports. When I say banana bag, it's a long Muay Thai bag. So you can see, ooh, Crazy Dave, always in the way. Alright, so you see this bag, probably a 7-foot bag. It hangs up there. I just used a simple clevis like you would see on like a power pole or something. Anyway, so it hangs up there, but the thing with a banana bag, because it's kind of curved a little bit, is you want to make sure that you get one where like when you hit it, it doesn't just give on you. And this is a very, very durable piece of equipment. I love it. You know, this is foam roller. It's my wife's foam roller. This is my rumble roller. It's a little bit more aggressive. I got more issues than she does. Okay, this is an Addicts Club. It's a loadable mace. So those are the extra pieces there. You can just screw it down. You unscrew this, add more pieces to it, and then you screw them all down, and then you can do mace work with it. Like I said, it's a loadable mace. Really, really good piece of equipment for building some functional strength and mobility at the same time. Got a chalk bag. This is how I keep the chalk off my floor. I use a rock climbing chalk bag that I got from REI, and we'll stick our hand in there, squeeze, come out, boom. So these are Holland hooks, and you use them the same way you use lifting straps. I got these when I injured my wrist. I fell in my backyard, injured my wrist, and so I couldn't hold the bar at all. So even lifting straps wouldn't work. but basically you hook them in here, wrap it around, and yeah, there you go. This is where I put a different kind of chalk if I'm going to be doing grip work. You want to put grip on the implement if you're doing grip work. If I'm just doing like deadlifts or something, I don't put the chalk. I put the chalk on my hands, not on the bar. All these kettlebells, except for the last two, I got from Fringe Sport. This is I think it's 31 pounds, 14 kilogram, 31 pounds. These two, I think 70, I don't remember. No, they're 28 kilograms. I've got two of them because I needed kettlebells that I could do like rack walks with. And so I've got two of them. The rest of them are all just singles. So it goes all the way up to my heaviest two. Okay, so this is a 106 pound kettlebell. It's 48, I think. 48 kilos. Yeah, 48 kilos. And then this one is a 40, I think it's 44. Yeah, 44 kilo. I got these from Rep Fitness. And I actually started getting them as I got stronger in the bench press, because as I would get to the point where I could do a weight, I said, well, let's get the next heaviest one, And I went to Rep Fitness because Fringe Sport happened to be out of this size. It's a head harness. You know what these are, some miscellaneous attachments. These are my gripping tools. I've got these, this is I think a half right here. Oh, sorry. Okay, all the way up to, this is a number 1. This is the heaviest one I've been able to close so far. These are all from Ironmind. Okay, and then this one I randomly picked up when I visited Fringe Sport, and it's actually a 200 pound, and not yet. Getting close, but not yet. This is a wrist roller, and I love, the cool thing about this is it comes from Ironmind, and this actually slides onto the safeties on my power rack, so it's mounted on the rack, and then you can work your wrist without having to you're not working your shoulders, and so you just focus on grip work. This is a trilobite, which is kind of like something you're more familiar with, called the Rolling Thunder from Ironmind. This is a trilobite. I actually prefer this version of the product, but it's very, very good for deadlift work. So when you pick it up, when you pick up anything, the handle rolls, so you actually have to, and it's thicker, so it forces your deadlift grip to get really, really strong. So if you have problems with your deadlift, with losing your grip or anything, I highly recommend you put it on the right way. Okay, there you go. I highly recommend that you get one of these. These are just some hooks that I bought off of Amazon to hang everything up. So I actually hate having stuff all over the place. I can't stand that. Alright, this is what you guys are wondering about. My power rack. Got this power rack from Dynabody Fitness, probably back in 2007, 2008. And I'm actually getting ready to swap it out and buy a different one because it's got some limitations, but it's very sturdy and solid. I've got, I don't even remember how many pounds of weight I have here, but I got tons of weight. This is a Rogue deadlift bar. This is the original Rogue power bar that they had before they started carrying the Ohio power bar. This is a kid's barbell that I got from Fringe Sport. My daughter loves playing with it. This is a technique bar I got from the Play It Again Sports. Once again, it's 25 pounds. So, like I said, I had kids training here, and I was able to let them use that so that they, along with the bumper plates I'll show you in a second, so that they could start getting the technique feel. Miscellaneous bands back there. This is my pulling harness. It actually is a harness that you use to keep yourself from falling out of a bucket if you work in a bucket truck. I used to work in a bucket truck, and I got to keep the harness. These are some swing set straps. If you go on my Instagram at Garage and Life Media, you'll see me using these swing set straps, and it is a good way to, it sort of simulates having a yoke, but they're much cheaper than a yoke. And what happens is you put them on the ends of the bar, and then they swing everywhere. The weight's on the bar. It makes it really, really unstable. Great for squats, bench, overhead pressing, whatever. These are safeties that were specially made by a guy named Ian Matt, who is on Instagram as @GymDad1976. And his company is called Vertucom, but you see it says #Garage and Life on it. This is so awesome. I love it. I appreciate Ian making those for me. Right there, these are gravity boots. You hook them around here, around your ankles, and you hang upside down. We hang up on that bar right there, and it's very good for traction after squats. Adjustable incline and flat bench, again from Dynabody. This is a TRX, and it does what TRXs do. Those are my Kali Eskrima sticks. Got some miscellaneous belts here. I used to have a lever belt, but now it's all the buckle belts. And I have a vise. The vise is probably the easiest tool to use for getting your belt tight, especially if you're in between weight classes or whatever, in between the holes in the belt. Basically, you stick this hole through the belt, put it here, tighten it, put your belt on. That way you're not like looking all over the place for something to wrap the end of your belt around to get it tight. Some miscellaneous stuff again from Spud Inc. Handles from Spud Inc. I've got the Spud Inc. Econo pulley and low row combo, so that I can do both press downs and cable curls and things like that. This is a outstanding purchase. They were the original company to actually have both a low pulley and a upper pulley option. Also Barbell Collars. These are the best collars I've ever found because I like doing the Steinborn lift, and that's where you stand the barbell up on one end, and every other collar comes loose. These collars hang on tight to the bar. And these are actually also machine collars, so they're a different size, and I can use them with my axle bar and things like that. And you said, what axle bar? This axle bar, man, don't question me. This axle bar right here. This axle bar is actually a knurled axle bar. It's made for me by David Dennis at Gorilla Strength. I was actually doing a live stream, and it was the first time I met David in person, even though I'd known him for a while. And he was kind enough to give this to me. He had made it for the competition, and then he said, hey, I got an extra one, here you go. So this thing is awesome. I love using it. I use both the smooth part and the knurl part. Stay over here. This is an Elite FTS SSB. Probably the best safety squat bar I've ever used. It's very comfortable on my upper back and on my neck. This is a no-name trap bar that I plan to upgrade into a Kabuki trap bar HD. I got this off of Craigslist years and years ago. This is a deadlift jack. I got it from, I was at Dynabody picking that power rack up, and I said, hey, Heavy, talking to Heavy Harris, the owner of Dynabody, I said, hey, I need a deadlift jack, and he said, well, take this one, and threw it in the back of the truck. That is a TV stand, an old TV stand that we converted into a desk for me. I mounted up here on the power rack, but this is a Dynabody dip station. And then this is a Shin Curl Bar that Gorilla Strength designed for me. Now you guys might be more familiar with the Tib bar that's sold by the Home Gym guys in Australia. I was originally going to get that because I had used a Tib bar back in like 1997, 98. But what I didn't like about them, and all the Tib bars I've ever used before, were that they were designed for standard plates. I wanted something with Olympic size plates because that's what I have. And I didn't want to bother with adapters or anything like that. So I asked David if he would design this for me. And I even got the Garage Gym Life logo right here on this adjusting screw. You can adjust it for the size of your foot and to change the lever angle. It's awesome, especially after I go out for a run, because I've gotten more into running now as I'm trying to lose weight. And I don't like shin splints, and also my calves and Achilles get real tight. Use that right after a run, no problems. Got this bar holder from Strength Systems, basically Strength Shop USA, and it's really good. It's a deadlift platform we had built. There's a video on my YouTube channel showing how we built it, but it's a deadlift platform. Got two 100-pound plates, and I use those not all of the time, but some of the time, depending on how much I'm going up to. So when you put them on the bar, it makes the bar 245 pounds total weight. So it throws the weights off a little bit. And so I only put them on there if that's going to be my opening weight. So if I'm working up to 500 pounds, that's going to be about half, and it's cool to start with that. The math is a little bit different, but I got a bunch of like fractional plates, so it doesn't matter, I can still do it. Speaking of fractional plates, this is a 1.25 pound plate, and I have those because this way I can move up in 2.5 pound increments in any lift. Whereas most people only have 2.5 pound plates like this, which means the smallest you can go up in is 5 pound increments. I ain't into that, especially as I get older. Okay, that back there, this rack actually was in the dumpster, and I went dumpster diving because I've been in a home gym for 20 years, and a lot of times back when I first started my home gym, you didn't have equipment. You didn't have all the stuff that you guys have now, so we had to like be creative. And so this thing was actually an old magazine rack that somebody had thrown away. And so I said, hey, I know what I can put on that. Brought it home, hung it on my pegboard, and now that's where I keep my knee sleeves, deadlift socks, voodoo floss bands, wrist wraps, all kinds of stuff is back there. This is a little bench pad. The point of this is to stop you from sliding around, but if I use this, I don't have to use bands. Like you see sometimes people take bands and they wrap it around the bench to stop you from sliding, and that's what we use that for. This is a makeshift option. Eventually I'm just going to reupholster or probably just get a whole new bench. I'm not going to get rid of that one, but I'm going to get a whole new bench as well that has a better, stickier surface. That curl bar is a curl bar. You do curls with it. And oh, these are my wrist wraps for hitting the bag. This rope I use for any kind of like rope pull-ups or anything like that. Then I said rope. So I'm big into like mobility work, but I hate, you want to warm up and you want it to not be boring, and so I use stuff like, I do like a lot of the stuff that David Weck recommends with like the dragon roll and stuff. So you're doing stuff like, it's a good way to finish up or to warm up. And so I bought this one from Weck Method, and then Bill Sorensen had an excellent, you can find him on Instagram at Bill Sorensen. He had an excellent tutorial on how to just make your own. So I made 2 more. And I was able to use heavier rope, so it actually gives me a very good workout. Some miscellaneous banners here. This is actually from when I was the Georgia coordinator for the Animal Barbell Club, and I got a bunch of people signing in. We used to make trips up to the Arnold all the time. Got a lot of fond memories right there. And I'm a big, huge fan of Gico Nutrition. They're pretty much the only supplement company that I use right now. And so my man Greg, I've known him since he worked at Animal, and I trust him completely. This is the only fight poster that I still have. And there I am right there. I was fighting Steve Hitman Hall. I just earned the silver medal at Nationals, and so Steve's camp reached out to my camp, challenged me to fight. We ended up having a fight. He actually ended up winning. Steve's a good fighter. No excuses. Of course, you always think as a fighter that, man, I could have done this and this, but Steve was just a better man that day. And that was actually my last fight anyway. I moved on to other things. This is my son in Austria, my oldest son in Austria, and there he is pulling what was a world record for the WUAP, which is a pretty good organization. I no longer compete with them, but they're good people. Then we got some bumper plates down here. This is 10 pounds, 25 pounds, 45 pounds. These are random. I don't know exactly which brand they are. I don't even remember because the number, everything's all rubbed off of them. I think I got them at Play Against Sports, but these are Red Fitness. I only use these if I'm doing something where I'm going to be like outside, because I don't want to drop my metal plates on the hard concrete. Like Slick Rick said, slam the child on the hard concrete. You don't want to do that. This is what I looked like when I started lifting weights. This is actually after I had been lifting weights for a while, and I thought I was huge. That's why I didn't have a shirt on, because when you start lifting weights, you somehow lose your shirt. This is me when I was in the Marine Corps. I was about 185 pounds right there, and that's in my second home gym inside that shed right there. And I like to keep in this stuff to remind me of where I've come from. That is me in Iraq. We had a bunker in our artillery position, and I converted it into, that's right, a gym. So, and since that was my home away from home, it was still a home gym. So I'm bench pressing with 2 dumbbells. I got an Iraqi to get for me from, I don't know where he got them from. I didn't ask any questions. I just paid for him and said, thank you, get out of here. And, nobody else is the wiser now. I don't have any idea where he got them from. But anyway, so I bought some dumbbells, and I'm lifting on some sandbags right there. Dry erase boards where we write down our lifts, dumbbells, dumbbell rack. This is a double end bag. It actually comes down. I'm not going to get the stool, but you get this, I bring it down here. It hangs about this high, depending on how tight I have the string. And then I use the bungee cords that are over there, attach it to something heavy, and then when I hit it, it swings back and forth. Or I don't even attach it, and I can use it as a bag for practicing slips and stuff like that. Okay, Bluetooth speaker. I usually turn this TV on while I'm lifting. If I need some extra motivation, I'll actually put on one of our live streams or something like that. But hey, I can lift to anything. I've lifted to nature shows. Witness the hunting panther. It's awesome. Then this is a tire sled. I've got a video on my YouTube channel about how to make it, but it's really simple. It's probably the simplest design out there. Just got the eye bolts in there so that we can put the plates inside the tire and drag it. And I use this one a lot more than I use that one because this one's quieter, and so I'm not as restricted as to what time I can lift. I think the only other thing I forgot over there is that's a weight vest that I use for, you know, whatever, anytime you need a weight vest. Got a bunch of books over here. This is my juice bar. You know, every gym needs a juice bar. Then I got a bunch of training books over here. This jiu-jitsu book by Saulo Ribeiro. Just some Bill Pearl's Keys to the Inner Universe. This is an excellent book about weight training technique, written back in the day before, you know, bodybuilding started to get weird. Bill Pearl was a legitimately strong guy. He's a genetic freak, but he's also pre-steroids, so you know that his methods work. Anyways, bunch of stuff right here. Gym towels, stuff to clean stuff. Mitts, focus mitts for if I'm doing punch drills. And we are back at the beginning. Oh, and these boxes are actually the same thing you would put, like the utility boxes for a utility company. And so they bury it in the ground and put, you know, power company stuff in it. But I managed to get my hands on 2 of them. Don't worry about how. That's the thing. When you're a home gym owner, especially for a long time, you end up acquiring a bunch of stuff. But I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out in my home gym. If you are interested in watching live streams of powerlifting, strongman, Highland Games, or you just want to see some cool stuff that's past what you normally get from a home gym brand, you know, we do some reviews, but we do a lot of other stuff. If you're interested in that, check me out on YouTube, Garage Gym Life Media YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram at Garage Gym Life Media. But now I have got to deadlift, so you have got to go.